Are you live?
Now we are. We are live. Scott, what do you got there?
Okay, so this is hang on. This is my a promo video. I want to share this. This is a promo video that they recorded at work a few weeks ago, and I've been in a couple of videos, but I've always gotten on the cutting room floor. This one they kept me in, and so I thought I'd share it with our audience. I figured they might get a kick out of it. So I'll play. We'll just play the first bit.
Well, you can play all of it if you want to.
Okay, I'll play. This is a promo video for the company I work at. Can you hear it?
Let's see.
I don't know if I can do it.
There's your. It's kind of garbly, but.
What we do here is very creative. You don't get that in a lot of places. Places that you typically think of as being a creative workplace, you're not designing something.
Let me go back. I want to go back just a second.
Okay.
So this is part of my crew. That's me, of course. Mm-hmm. This is one of my sculptors here next to me. I don't know if you can see my pointer or not.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that's I won't say their names. And then this is one of my 3D. This is one of my two sculptors. One of my two 3D modelers, and these are my two other artists that work in die cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Or two of them, and then I have that's about half my crew. No, it's not quite. That's probably about a third of my crew. Anyway, let me continue.
You're not designing something from scratch. That's really what I want to do.
It's an incredible business that does toe that line between a small business that feels like a home and a family. And I know a lot of people when I walk around campus. And at the same time, it's this incredible.
That's my company. That's one of the buildings.
And did they used to be Jostens?
No, we're a vendor for Jostens.
Okay.
It's a really cool feeling to have found that home and that career.
Can't think of any other company that would allow me to grow the way that MTM has. If there's something I'm interested in.
That's our printing area, the area called Flexcom.
It's something that they think I might be good at. They'll approach me about it.
That's our plating area.
Cool.
We go back to our fan of celebrating champions. Champions mean a lot of things. A champion is a character. So we recognize champion and character. That's what MTM recognition means.
We'll go back just a second.
Is there any chance you'll ever get a job where you just don't do anything but hang out in a really cool cush office?
There's a possibility. Okay, so this building right here is like the headquarters building.
Uh-huh.
And I don't and this is our warehouse. This area next to it is the printing area. Oh.
So it's several buildings.
I think we have like 12 buildings altogether.
Wow, man.
So
12 buildings.
This is our showroom and part of production. Off the screen is the building I work in, which is a 2-story building.
Hmm.
And then there's a couple more buildings along with that.
Wow. Pretty cool. Pretty extensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big
well
deal.
Considering that what the point of the video is recruiting.
Yeah.
And I have at least as many followers as MTM's channel does. You may get a customer.
Well, what's funny is we have what you pointed out. We have 40 followers.
Yeah,
I like that. So if anyone's watching, we have 37 subscribers. So if anybody is watching this, go to mtmrecognition.com and subscribe.
Subscribe.
And if you want to leave a comment here, about hey. You don't have to say you know me, but
yeah. He says, hey.
Just say, man, that looks like a great place to work or something.
Scott
Anyway.
said, "I am the only man for the job."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so
So
don't say that.
So okay, so I wanted to show you that. I wanted to show you something else. So I recently made a purchase on eBay.
Hmm.
You know, Neil Adams passed recently. And Neil Adams, I've seen Neil Adams at cons for about 20 years. You probably seen him for longer.
Yeah. I've even applied directly for a job with him with Continuity Studios.
Really?
Made the drive all the way there to LA, and it was cool. He said I was a quarter inch away, and I just decided I didn't want to move to LA.
But then you ended up moving to LA. No, this you never
Well,
lived.
eventually, yeah.
So in kind of, I don't know if you'll say memoriam or whatever, he always wore a safari jacket, and I've always wanted a safari jacket, so I bought me this safari jacket off of eBay.
Cool.
And I saw one recently. I saw one at a thrift store, but it didn't fit me. But it inspired me to look for one, and so I bought this off of eBay.
Yeah, safari jackets on at a thrift store might come with a voodoo curse or something. You got to watch that.
Well, it wasn't that. I don't know if it actually left the country, but anyway, I thought it was cool because I do have a light blue. I forget the brand. It's a nice jacket that I wear that's unlined, and I really like it. I wear a lot, like days like today when I just need a light jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but I like this safari jacket. It's got lots of pockets. And so I got this for, I don't know, $35 off of eBay.
Looks like it takes some major work to get it ironed out.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Well, what are you going to do? You just
I'm going to wear it. I'm just going to throw it on and wear it, dude.
Yeah.
It's 100% cotton. So.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to take some ironing.
Yeah.
But like you say, just wear it and never bother to.
No. I don't iron.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I'd iron my shirt. I'd iron like long sleeve shirts religiously. But you know, in my parents' house, we had a room that had an iron set up, or an ironing board set up on it.
Uh-huh.
Michelle and I don't even have a full size ironing board. We have one in the laundry room. And I do iron rarely, but it's not, you know.
Do the old trick of supposedly this works pretty good of getting your shower steamed up and
just hang it.
Yeah, hang it.
We'll see. It's supposed to come in tomorrow. We'll see what it's like. I mean, you know, if nothing else, I'll just leave it in the back seat of my car, and if I get cold, I have something to throw on.
Yeah.
You know, my blue jacket.
Well, you know, it just with clothing, it's like if it feels like the skin you've been missing when you put it on, you'll wear it all the time.
Yeah,
if it's like
that's how my blue jacket is.
Exactly, and if it catches you here and it catches you there, you'll just might as well just toss it. You'll never wear it.
Well, I'm real picky about my jacket because I wear a lot of short sleeve shirts. And so a lot of jackets have like a nylon lining in the sleeve, and my arms just sweat in that. I need a jacket that kind of breathes. And so that blue one I like because it's unlined. The problem is if it rains on you, you just get soaked. There's no rain protection hardly. And this will be the same way, but I figure it's a good alternative to my blue jacket. I wear my blue jacket quite a bit, so we'll see. You know, I wear a lot of polo shirts, you know, with the like collared kind of shirts to work. So, you know.
Chimperino is in the house.
Nice.
Let me see what he wants to ask us. Ellis, I have a question. What was that book you talked about to Naple that was some writer's journal where he talked about how he used to pick up cans for movie money and angered some university? Wait a moment. Let me see. Pardon me. Some writer's journal where he talked, the writer, there's a writer's journal, and he was picking up cans from,
that's not what's his face, is it?
Who?
What's the book you've been reading about the writer? Goldman?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's weird that you would bring that up. I've been really binging on Goldman all over the place. I was going to talk about that. I think you said the writer used to write Westerns or something.
Is that Goldman?
No, it doesn't sound like him.
I can't imagine. He doesn't seem like a pickup cans guy.
Yeah. And angered some university
Professor.
No, I did. He doesn't add professor.
Yeah, he does. The next question is.
Oh, okay.
Angered some university professor for being smarter than him.
Huh.
I'm not sure.
Wow. You would think that would just touch all kinds of neurons that says, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's so-and-so. And I cannot for the life of me retrieve that. I am sorry. He used to write Westerns or something. Well, I mean, I talk about who used to write Western, Elmore Leonard, but no. I mean,
whose writers' journals have you read lately?
Well, you know what? The only guy I can think of that may have just, having read it as an elderly person, and it might have just completely now not even be in my brain, might be the guy that wrote the one with Brad Pitt and about Fight Club. What's that guy's name? Maybe that was it.
Chuck Palahniuk or whatever.
Yeah, Chuck something or other. You
know what? I bet it is because you talked about reading his book. Yeah,
but I don't remember talking to Doug about it. And I don't remember about picking up cans to go see movies. That sounds like
maybe when he was a kid.
Yeah, it's like that sounds like something Richard Burton did. Richard Burton literally used to collect dung from
as a hobby.
No, when he was a kid, and he's in Wales, he had to scrap to live, and part of the way he did it was to sell dung that he got by scouring the hills after the other people's farm animals, and then he would take those coppers and never missed a movie. he was he was a huge movie fan. It's weird, that journal of his is a daily thing practically, and he was just a monster reader. He's kind of more like you than me. He could consume a couple books a day or something.
Oh, but I don't have any time, man.
Yeah, if he felt like it. Yeah.
I'm still in the middle of reading Ringworld. I didn't get it done on vacation.
Well, Chumperino says, I think that's it. Thanks a lot. Except for the part about collecting cans, because I can imagine that guy making some professor realize, hey, who's this smart aleck? Who's this smart aleck?
Yeah, I can see that.
And kicking him out. I think he did get kicked out of something at one point. So, yeah, thanks for the question. Thanks for making me realize the brain is just on its last legs.
Okay, so I am working on and I want your opinion on this. I'm working on a preview blog of my comic. My comic is getting ready to be in previews.
Cool.
And so
it's real when it's being solicited.
It's real, yeah. So I built, because my idea is I want to email a bunch of retailers and say, hey, here's my comic. And so I built a blog, and it's going to have one post. So when you go to it, this is what you'll see. I don't know if you can see if you got my screen.
Did you use Blogspot or did you use the?
I used Blogspot.
Cool. Yeah, Blogspot is more useful than. I sure am glad Google didn't just fold the 10 on that. It's very useful, even if nobody uses it much anymore.
Well, you can build like a quick little portfolio, which is what I'm doing. And and you can assign an URL. It's heavensrejectscomic.blogspot.com.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
So this is what it is. Heaven's Reject issue 1 preview. I don't know why there's a. I can edit it. Anyway, Heaven's Rejects number 1 coming September 2020 from Sourcepoint Press. It's the cover. And I started with, I put the first 4 pages on here.
Cool.
I got to here. It's kind of a cliffhanger.
Uh-huh.
And I stopped. Well, the writer emails me and goes, "Hey, we need to put all the pages on there," which I think is a mistake because we're
no. I mean, that's kind of a cool way to do things. It's like first one's free, and
how much people got to order the first issue?
Yeah. No, first one's free, and then it's like because there's that thing about story. I tell you what, it's like I am just shocked at stuff I didn't think I was into, but I realized, damn it, I've got to know what happened to that stupid Republic serial I was watching. Or not anything that bad, because Republic serials, it really doesn't matter. They just queue up events. There's not much story, yeah. But other stuff, it's like, it doesn't matter how bad it is. If it got a hook in me for the first act, I'm going to be back for it. It's like I'll watch the rest of it at some point. Speaking of hooks,
you're talking to the guy that watched all the Sopranos.
Oh, so. Yeah, just recently, huh?
Yeah.
And you've decided Tony definitely died.
Oh, I have no doubt Tony's dead. So,
yeah.
So, well, here's the thing, and there's a couple things that allude to it. In fact, I even have a pretty good idea who the guy who killed him, but I can't think of the guy's name. But
amazing. Think about all the people. I mean, him killing Christopher and all the other people that he caused the deaths of. For him to be realized and become a recipient of that pressure, like. A lot of people could do things without you around, just because it'd be the way they want to do things.
You're the way of a lot of people, that's for sure.
Yep.
Well, so, and I wrote this in email to you, but I'll go over it for the listeners or the viewers. Tony, when Tony in episode 6, Tony, or season 6, there were a couple things that pointed to it. One is when Tony's with Bobby. There's an episode called Home Movies, and with Bobby, and they're in the water at the lake. It's when they go to the lake, and him and Bobby have that fight, and over the he's insinuating the sister's was kind of a skank, which I've been told you can't call women skank anymore, by the way. But that's all. That's all I said.
Just the use of the word will get you off Twitter, probably.
Yes, you can. Yes, I used that word. Somebody told me you cannot use that word. Not that they were offended by it, but it was like, no. And I said, well, how do you describe I said, well, that's probably the wrong word. What would you use to describe a woman who is very promiscuous? And she's like, you cannot say that about women. I'm like,
oh, I got you. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, okay, I give up. It's like, okay, I surrender. Anyway, so they get in a fight. Well, earlier he had Bobby had told, they were talking about death, and Bobby said, I don't think you hear the one that's coming for you. I don't think you hear it.
Yeah.
And then later, when he's at the when they're in hiding and they're at that house, he's upstairs and he's got that gun Bobby gave him, and he's looking at it and he's thinking back to that. So it's reinforced in your mind that idea that you don't hear it. And then at one point, Syl was meeting with somebody, and they were sitting there, and all of a sudden, the sound goes to nothing, and then it's kind of a siren noise, and you realize, and then blood goes across Syl, and you realize that what it is the guy that he was eating with was shot, and you never heard the gunshot.
Hmm.
And it was just kind of this weird way of putting you in it that, and so that's what I think. And I think it was the guy. Well, you probably haven't seen it in a while, but
It's been a long time, and I'm not sure I've seen every one of them.
There was a guy in the last episode. There was a guy in a members only jacket at the bar that kept looking at Tony, or at the counter at the diner. He kept looking at Tony, and there was a guy. I don't remember his name, but there was a guy that worked under Tony, and he wasn't a captain because he worked under. He may have been a captain. Anyway, he was trying. He wanted to. He'd come into some money. He'd inherited some money. And so he wanted to go to Florida and retire.
Yeah. He's the one that's driven to suicide. Yeah.
He ends up killing himself. And he always wore a members only jacket. And in fact, they even teased him about wearing a members only jacket.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not a common thing. And there was the guy at the bar. And so I think that was kind of a way to point out the guy at the bar was something special, or the guy at the counter was something special. Now the question is, who did it, who. Obviously, it wasn't somebody Tony recognized, so it was somebody that got hired to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but there was the guy that Tony killed his brother. And at one point, he wasn't for sure, but he goes to Tony's. He's drunk, and he goes to Tony's house, and he's in his backyard by his pool, and he's got a gun. He's gonna shoot Tony. Tony's like by the window.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna shoot him. And he can't bring himself to do it, so instead he pees in his pool.
Oh, okay.
And the theory is that guy could have hired it done.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that it wasn't one of the other 100 people that had reason to get back at Tony.
The psychiatrist, just in case she wanted to experiment it. See what it felt like to kill somebody.
Yeah, what's it like to hire a murder? Anyway, that's my theory.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Tony definitely got it. Got two in the hat, as they say.
Yeah.
One thing that's making this challenging is our pages aren't right. Because
they aren't paginated in any logical way. Right.
Well, when the guy sent me the script, he skipped page 1 for some reason. He wanted to put something text on the page. So when I made my ash can to give out, I made a text page for it to make it flow logically, and it's completely screwed with this because I don't know what page 1 is going to be. And I'm doing page 1 is actually our page 2.
But the writer has just gone ahead and said, hey, just put out issue 1. That sounds like to me, that sounds smart, because I think that's what you've got to do in this day and age. Is like, hey, I'm ready to work for you. Join me in my effort to bring you entertainment.
It's 21 is 2 words, isn't it? Or is it hyphenated?
That's a good question. I bet it's 1 word. I don't know. Let me look. 21, the club. Well, that's 2 words, isn't it?
Okay. Works for me. Anyway, I realized, because I had to look up because down here, let me read this. You probably can't read this. This is the blurb that the writer wrote.
Okay.
Which I like. When 3 violent, foul-mouthed angels are dumped on Earth after flunking out of heaven's army, they find out the hard way that life ain't cheap. I like that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
I think I put it at the top of this. And I've got like thumbnails and stuff. What do you think about like putting thumbnails on or pencil pages?
Well, yeah, I mean, but just link that to its just own creation page,
like a second entry.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I don't have it messing up the
good
beauty, the unity of doing one thing or the other.
This is page 13, but I gotta upload page 14.
cool. So you're composing on Blogspot, and people will be able to find this, and it's called Heaven's
Rejects. Heaven's Rejects Comic.blogspot.
Okay, all one word, Heaven's Rejects Comic.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and edit for later and add it to the below part of this video.
That'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be done by the time we
Sure.
get done with this.
Was I watching? Oh yeah, I was watching Sean Connery last night in one of those kind of cool roles where he's doing stuff that, considering his oversized, bigger than life kind of qualities that he usually brings to this and that, to see him play a guy that's beleaguered and
Oh yeah.
he was larger than life, of course, because he was an officer. And I don't think anybody that's not a little bit larger than life becomes officer material. It was in A Bridge Too Far, which is the Goldman connection. Have you seen that?
I saw it when I was a kid, and I thought it was the most boring war movie I ever saw.
I'll tell you what, you need to give it another shot.
Hang on. Whoa. Let me back. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Bridge Over the River Kwai. Different movie.
Yeah, different movie. But yeah, and of course that one's pure character, and that one's easy to get into too. But yeah, William Goldman wrote the script for it, and he describes it in My Adventures in the Screen Trade as the most satisfying experience he had in Hollywood in terms of like writing a script and the collaboration. He said Richard Attenborough, the guy sounds like a complete mutant. I mean, how can anybody be such a damn good actor? And to realize how the qualities of actors are like, every now and then they'll try directing once and they'll say, it's too hard. And that'll be their sole directing effort. This guy directed a lot of stuff, and a movie like A Bridge Too Far is just one of these epic things they don't make anymore. So incredibly complicated. And he just had to be, from another planet to be that good at two things like that. But anyway, the movie, Connery's great. And it's all about, apparently, this is something American audiences don't know about, because as Goldman points out, this is about the big, and it's weird, the English character, every Englishman knows about it because it's been done to death. Apparently, it's one of the things they like to chew over the most, because it's a huge failure. Monty was trying to beat Patton.
No, really?
The job of putting the kill stroke in on Hitler. And he had this big plan to hold these bridges, and they would just ride in over that bridge and shut down their most important industrial area. And it didn't work out because their logistics just blew up in their face in every way they could blow up. And had the mountain of people that died over this is just pretty sobering to think about in terms of like the war that's going on right now. It's never funny when you've got just everybody, that's even close to the periphery of the whole mess has got a very good chance of dying. They showed this one old lady that lost their mind. They're coming along and they're like, oh, sorry, we're entitled to commandeer your house. And this old lady, she says, when are you leaving? Basically, she's like any old lady that doesn't want her life disrupted. She's used to her things and doing her thing. And they become, they cause the Germans to blow this house to bits. And finally, she loses her mind so completely. She goes out thinking she's going to call a taxi, goes out in the street and gets
God.
machine gunned. And it's like, I can, Goldman, when you think about, he talks about, the parts he has to pick, you can do all the research, and this novel has apparently got, it could go 1,000 different ways. So that's Goldman's job, is to figure out how it does go. And it's fascinating. He's just pretty amazing. I recently read A Soldier in the Rain, then I watched the movie, and that's a Steve McQueen, Jackie Gleason thing. And so I'm just really, and right now I'm in 3/4 of the way through the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid script in his book. And that, of course, is just pure genius, and almost almost everything went up on screen. Everything he wrote, the way he wrote it, it went up. And that's pretty amazing too when you think about it. He talks about all the rewriting he does. That's your only talent you have to have if you want to be a success as a script writer. You just have to be able to.
You'll do rewrites.
Say, yeah, oh yeah, I love it. Let me rewrite it again. If you can do that, you're in.
I had a funny experience this week. We were doing a belt buckle for this. Well, it happened about 3 weeks ago. We got a hey, Fly Fox Pros here.
Yeah.
We got I got an email from our plant up in Princeton, Illinois, and it was me and my boss and a couple other people, and it was like, we're working on this belt buckle for this. It's a foundation that protects a certain type of sheep, like a mountain sheep. And they ordered belt buckles, and they're going to sell them. And so, but they're real, like any of these animal people, they're super picky about what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of find out, I had worked with the guy that was ordering them on some other stuff. And she was like, we've been working on this, and this guy's not happy. And and the salesperson's not happy. We're getting ready to lose this account if we don't get this guy happy. Can you guys help me? And of course, me, I'd like, oh yeah, I can take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did something, they liked it. Well, then it went and there had a few minor changes, but it went to one of my 3D guys, because he had to model it in 3D, and he's just struggling. And so we were on this phone call, and the guy's like, I like the one on the right. Why aren't we doing like the one on the right? And it's like, and we're not on video. This is a phone conference. And it's me and the 3D artist and my boss at my boss's desk. And he just looks, I just shrug my shoulders and go, well, what can I say? I did it, and after the meet, after the
customer's always right.
Well, and after I got, yeah, exactly. Well, and he was like, the one on the right's a 10 out of 10. You're about at a 7 out of 10. And, and I mean, I felt sorry for the guy, because he's he's not really an artist, certainly not like I am. And he's trying to make a 2D image into a 3D image, which is really challenging sometimes, because I can do like a little scribble and it looks good,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And anyway, so we got
say hi to Wim.
Oh, hey Wim. So when we get off the phone, I tell this guy, I go, I'm sorry I set the bar so high for you, dude. Okay, I'm gonna look at a preview of this, Ellis. I want your opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my next coffee pretty soon, but I'll watch your preview first.
Well, look at the preview. We're almost
okay.
done.
Yeah. Let me.
Okay, so
I got your full screen right now.
Okay, so this is the preview.
All right.
I've got up here at the top. I got Heaven's Region preview that's coming. Okay, so I got the pages. I got each of them labeled. What the number is. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go through them fast because I have a specific question.
Okay.
And you know, I did this art so long ago. I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this art is terrible.
Well, you were chunking it out like you thought you were doing it Marvel style. You thought it was, you had to hand it down the line.
Yeah, I thought, I wish I had an inker. My inking is where I didn't do it any favor. I look at the pencils, and the pencils look pretty good, and then my inking's a little rough.
That's all right. It's all of a piece.
I thought this page right here looks really good.
Yeah,
I like this page. You can tell I got better.
You got action. You're leading the eye. It's good. Yeah. I tell you what, when pages all flow together, it's a trick. I mean, that's what makes comic book art the hardest of the disciplines. If you can do that, if you tell me you've done, about 10 comic books and you're looking for a job as a concept artist, the guy can handle it because he can invent, and he may not be who was I watching today? Kim Jung-gi.
Oh yeah,
he was doing another one of his lessons on bounding boxes, how everything is a bounding box.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, God, what a beautiful lesson. You don't have to hear a word from him. You can see exactly what he's saying. Okay. So what are you going to ask me?
So here's my question. At the bottom, I have Heaven's Rejects says, should I put the little blurb at the top in the credits or at the bottom, do you think?
The blurb at the top or the
little description? Because should I put it here? I think I should let me do it, and you tell me. Let me
drag it.
Yeah. I'm gonna copy it. Let me copy it. Oops.
Okay. Then what does that blurb say? Oh yeah. It's got the writers. You know what? The writer would appreciate the hell out of seeing the first thing he sees. The promo blurb he's thought up. That's kind of like the log line or whatever, of the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't in this preview. I can't find where oh wait, there it is.
What, changing the fonts?
Yeah, I couldn't figure. I couldn't find the.
Yeah, it takes a while to get familiar again with an old thing like a Blogspot.
I'd go into Blogger, and I would write. When I was really working, I would do.
It's a great tool. I mean, it's like
I love it. I mean.
Yeah, man. Plus the limitless. I must have 10 blogs. And some of them don't have any more than like about 3 entries. It's like, and they're apparently eternal, which is great. I love it.
You know what? I like this. This is what I'm going with.
Yeah, maybe monkey around with the font, make it even more striking. I don't know. What is it? Is that stuff that's centered or the line underneath it?
The line underneath it, that needs to be a little bit bigger, I think.
Yeah, make it a little more eye-catching. Stop the eye a little bit. Eye-catching. Stop the eye.
Stop the eye.
Let people know that they're supposed to look at it. Yeah, it was weird, the emphasis, because, Robert Redford became pretty important to William Goldman. The most frustrating experience Goldman had was on All the President's Men. Oh, man.
Really?
That sounds like a total nightmare, because basically he did do that thing of, I'll rewrite it. Okay, I'll rewrite it. And then ultimately was kicked off of it. And it became, I forget the director's name. It just became basically his film. And, but of course the deal is, Redford is the guy bringing him into it because of their relationship dating from Butch Cassidy. And their Bridge Too Far has got, apparently he's was crucial to a lot of the money that they needed desperately at the time. This crazy Joseph E. Levine wanted to make this movie, and he had absolutely all the money in the world at that point. You know, he's in his late 70s or something like that. And he still wants to make a monster movie and decides just to do it by the seat of his pants to where he could go from being a rich guy to a poor guy. And it's just amazing to think some guy like that could say, I need some excitement in my life. And, you know, it's amazing to read Goldman's description of it. He said, I highly recommend. I can't wait to get to the part at the end of the book, which I guess people buy the book for, where he takes an old short story, says, you know, that he stumbled across, says, hey, this is pretty good. Now that I'm and it was a short story written before he was really churning out screenplays. And he said, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a screenplay as almost like a lesson in screenplays. So I've got that left to read. That'll be cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put the credits up at the top, I think.
Yeah. Get everybody's name up there. That always makes people happy. What do you think? You think centered like a script on your credits, or? But of course, if you hit centered, see if there's another way to do that. If you hit centered, it makes it ugly in terms of like the edges.
Well,
is there a way to stick it in the middle of the page and still have it?
I don't know. I could do this.
Justified left. I don't know.
Hang on, I could do this. I could put more periods since I have periods in here.
Uh-huh. Oh, move everybody around with their periods.
Yeah.
Just we're all synced up now. I was watching some extremely.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah. Go back to something that isn't ragged.
Well, see, I put the periods in there so our names are all lined up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's better when the machine does it for you. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I was watching the Kids in the Hall. Is that Prime? I think it's Prime.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be Netflix. It might be Netflix. I don't know.
No, there's something on Prime.
Okay, then that's what it is.
Okay, this is what I'm going with, I think.
Oh yeah. That looks pretty good.
Here, let's look at the preview because sometimes it gets wonky with the preview.
Yeah.
Does that look good?
It looks a little roughish, like a little rough draftish. I don't know. That little cluster of the credits, I sure would like to see it in the middle, still justified left. I wonder if there's a way to do that.
I wonder if I could tab it over there.
Yeah, see if you can. Tab it. Select it and tab it. Look at that. There's how you do it. Just do the there you go. Now you got to visually. Yeah, that looks better. I mean, the idea is there.
What?
Well, you grabbed it wrong. I've had some frustrating moments with Blogspot where they erased all my Von Bode stuff, and then I got it back somehow. I don't even remember how I got it back, but it was much later, about a year later. It bugged me because I've still got it, but you know, when you go to the trouble of scanning something expressly to put it on Blogspot,
better? It's not far enough, is it?
Yeah, it needs to go over. You know, it needs to be find the longest one, have it centered.
Well, the problem is in the editor, it doesn't show up. See, it looks centered there.
Oh, it looks centered there, yeah.
And it may jump around.
Oh, there you go. Try that.
Depending on people's screen size, but
That looks good.
Does that look good?
Yeah, that looks good. That looks more like what you'd stumble across if you were looking at a script.
Okay.
I think it looks better. How about our audience? What do you guys think? Nobody's watching it.
Yeah. Well, when we get the code for the order code, I'll put the order code at the very top so people can order it. Okay, I'm going to publish it.
Cool. It's published now. All right. You know what else I was doing today that was kind of cool?
Here's the actual one. Here's what it actually looks like.
Wim likes it. He says it's good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, man, that's looking good. I tell you what, you got a decent colorist on this. It's not.
You know,
It's not. It's not crazy and all painterly.
Yeah, some of this. Yeah, I think she's pretty good. Some of the stuff I kind of go.
Well, you know, I mean, everybody's going to have a different taste. Like she may get a little too saturated here or whatever.
This is pages. I don't know where those pages are.
What, did something surprise you in terms of like it being there?
This is some images. Let's see.
Now what?
They may just not loaded for some reason.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of images to load. It's a comic book's worth. No, they're there.
I tell you, I've had some frustrations with Blogspot too. It's not like it just automatically obeys your commands.
But anyway, the girl or the girl that does the covers is now doing covers for Dark Horse.
Oh,
that
cool.
Girl, Alex Monique, and the colorist is doing coloring for somebody else. Oh, Boom. I think she's doing like some Power Rangers issues.
Cool.
So, I mean, you know, and of course, you know, you could say it's a commentary on the comic industry. The two males have not progressed, but the two females have shot to
the top.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever. I posted I showed the video, the YouTube video of my work, my recruiting thing. And they gave me the title of, I was going to point it out. I forgot to point it out. I won't pull it back up. But they gave me the title of production design manager. And I was like, which is like not my title. I mean, my title is like unit leader, which doesn't really mean anything to anybody outside the company. But the managers are like a level above me. So I thought it was pretty funny because my wife was like, oh, you got a promotion.
Yeah.
And I thought about tagging that on my email at work, and when someone asked me about it, I said, "Well, that's what they called me in the video." So, but my boss is a manager, so he might take exception to it. I don't really want to step on his toes necessarily. We're about out of time.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I enjoyed all the. That was cool to think about Blogspot again, and
oh yeah, I wish I could get this.
And everything you're getting up to there. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, when Greg sent me the blurb he sent me was, I think it's exactly what's going on in previews, and it's basically the cover without our names on it, with that blurb at the bottom, and it's just really cool to see it all come together, and hopefully, like, because we have people in the audience that have seen me work on. I mean, I don't know how long we've been doing videos on.
Long time.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know if the first issue was on video, but I know people have watched for a long time, have seen me working on this comic, and so hopefully hopefully they, that, I don't know, maybe there's like a sense of, it's something that they were kind of a part of or whatever.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, that's what I resent about Doug being banished forever from YouTube, is that he did all that stuff where he was doing the typical comic book artist of like, I'm lonely, I want somebody around while I'm working, which is the personality of a lot of comic book artists.
Right.
They'll get on the phone and they'll have a constant yak session while they are working.
Yeah.
Or they did when I was at that studio in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys, Ben Herrera and Mike Christian and Scott Benefield. Scott was pretty focused. He usually didn't do a lot of stuff, but man, I tell you what, the other three guys were always like, yeah, we need to talk to somebody. And, and somebody else had somebody on the phone. It became like, hey, I want to get in on what's he saying to you?
Oh,
because and that's a good way to, that's a good way to network. It's like, hey, let's talk while we're working and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Be real social.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and so, and so hopefully, people in the audience thought it's kind of cool to be able to see it or whatever.
Yeah.
At least, it's like, hey, I saw you working on it now that we see it, it's finally coming out. Yeah. Even though the last year has been.
Well, it's really, as far as timing, you didn't want to come out right in the middle of the height of the stupid virus,
No. I mean, it kind of.
I'm really, I can't wait to hear how, all the coverage that goes on YouTube. Typically, even if I don't go, I feel like I can go to the San Diego Comic-Con with all the people that do go to it, making reports. And it's like, what's it going to be like coming up here? I hope everybody has a good time,
Yeah, I mean, that's coming up pretty quick. I got my thing.
July usually, right?
Yeah, end of July or August,
Yeah.
I got my thing saying I could apply for a pro badge. Before we go, let me show you the pencils.
Let's see.
I pulled out the pencils for the first couple pages. I had JPEGs of them. I was thinking about putting those on the blog.
Oh, so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pencils. I don't think I did not improve on my pencils like I think you should when you ink. Not the first issue at least.
Well, it's interesting, you get like a Wally Wood that says, you meant to do this. And you get an inker that just completely absorbs the penciler, and
yeah.
So that's cool, though. I mean, inking is another, like you say, you could have improved it.
Yeah.
Matt C says, Ellis, good to see you back. We've probably been on different wavelengths. He probably didn't realize we do this every Thursday. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we do it every Thursday. Yeah, he probably didn't know we did it Thursdays. We quit doing it on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you do something with church on Wednesdays.
Yes. Even though I've been delinquent at it I didn't go last night, but that's in a perfect world I would. So even if I don't get to go as often as I like to keep it open.
Yeah, keep it open. Yeah, sure. No. Something like that is. Well, are you ready to wrap it? You tell me when we wrap.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
It's 8.
I'm glad everybody dropped in. Matt and Wim and Fly Fox and Chumperino. you had a good one. I'm trying to. That name. I wonder if it's somebody associated with old Dietz, because we used to always call each other Chumpy and all that in the old neighborhood days.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Anyway, good to see you, Ellis.
Yeah, I'm glad. Oh, I didn't talk to you much about your trip downtown. Did you see a movie?
Yes.
Good night, y'all. Okay, see you, Wim. What'd you see?
I saw everything everywhere all at once. The Michelle Yeoh movie.
Oh wow, was that good?
It was pretty good. It was very weird. It was easily one of the strangest movies I've seen. It was one of the strangest mainstream movies I've ever seen. It was, and I won't go into the plot because I'm not sure I could go into the plot, but it reminded me of the Terminator, and what I mean by that is someone comes back and has to save someone has to stop something. And so the fabric of reality is altered so that they can defeat this menace. But instead of being a guy time traveling, it is Michelle Yeoh's husband. And instead of being time traveling, it's alternate dimensions. It's like the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
And so it ends up kind of in some ways being a meditation on, because their idea is, like in Marvel Comics, the multiverse is all these different versions of superheroes. In this particular version of the multiverse, every time you make a decision in your life or an important decision, you create like an alternate timeline or an alternate universe, or however you want to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea was it becomes kind of a meditation on it. There's a lot of kung fu in it, so it's definitely a kung fu movie. There's a lot of kind of comedy. It reminded me of oh gosh, what's the Stephen Chow movie? Kung Fu Hustle, is that it? Kind of reminded me of that a little bit. But it also became that it also was a kind of a commentary on like choices we make in our life and how they affect ourselves and other people. And so it was very deep. I mean, I don't know if it comes out in July, I think. I don't know if I'll rush out and buy it immediately, but I definitely want to see it again. I probably won't go see it at the theater just because sitting in a theater for 2 hours, you get out and it's like you time traveled and lost time. But
did you see that Chris Nolan movie where it jumps around in time backwards and all that?
Yes,
I didn't see that. And there's this guy that was in this video store talking it up, saying people need to give that another chance. It's like, well, okay, I haven't given it one single chance yet. Maybe I will watch it.
Well, let me know when you want to watch it. I'll lend you. I got it on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay, cool. I forget what it's called though. What is it called?
It's called Tenet.
Tenet. That's it.
I have watched it twice, and I'm not sure I could give you the plot.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is not like that. It is similar, but it's not, and it's not a time travel movie. It is an alternate dimension thing.
Well, I mean, just think about how much you really appreciate, and that's your rewatchability right there. We've talked about, and I've got all of a sudden the hankering for it now that you've watched it enough, and your enthusiasm for it is Under the Silver Lake. And it's kind of a goofy little flick, and it's kind of gimmicky in terms of its complexity, But at the same time, it had enough to offer you that it, it's
interesting.
Yeah.
There are movies like that I wouldn't call them good movies. But I think they're interesting. In some ways, I would consider like Escape from New York something kind of like that. Even though it's a completely different movie, it's not a cinema masterpiece. But I really like it, and I watch it a lot because I just appreciate it, and it has a lot of rewatchability.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
what is the drawing on the upper left in your screen? On the right by your pencil you just picked up. That one right by your hand.
This one?
The one on the right of that piece of paper.
It's just a guy in short pants that's reacting to something.
Oh, okay. It looked like he was boxing her. It looked like Hercules, kind of.
Yeah.
The Marvel character.
Yeah. Oh, Hercules.
Yeah.
Hercules.
Hercules.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. We're not live anymore, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, we're still live. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you were saying bye to Whim. Okay.
Yeah, I did say goodbye to him. And
Okay.
I imagine everybody else has gone too, because we've faked them out so many times now.
I had wanted to go downtown and walk around today, but I really wanted to see that movie, and I wasn't sure, you know. Anyway, so I got off work early, so I went and saw it.
Cool. I mean, no, that sounds like a thumbs up to me. Sounds like it was interesting enough.
Yeah, I mean, I paid $7 to watch it. I paid $6 for Coke, and you know.
I saw a little thing on YouTube today. It said among Quentin Tarantino's top 11 movies, he's rated his top 11. I'm not sure he's serious, but one of them, I think somewhere around number 5 was Five Fingers of Death. He's got different reasons for liking what he likes, So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that, I don't know, but what I will say one thing, I've seen, Under Silver Lake, and I watched a movie not long ago called, what was it called? The Eyes of Tammy Faye Baker. Tammy, and Andrew Garfield, who's in Under the Silver Lake,
is in that.
He plays Jim Baker, and I mean that dude. He of the 3 Spider-Man actors, he's probably excuse me, probably the best actor, I think. I mean, as much as I love Tobey Maguire, you haven't seen the last Spider-Man movie, have you?
I have not.
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but all 3 Spider-Man are in it at one point.
Oh yeah. I've gathered that much, yeah.
And I've realized, I mean, and not Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield does a really good job. I think of the 3 actors that have played Spider-Man, he is. I mean, I'm just talking in terms of an actor, maybe not the best Spider-Man or whatever.
He's not the most. He's the second middle one, right?
Yes, he's the one after Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
I think of the 3, he's the guy in Under the Silver Lake and the Eyes of Tammy Faye Baker, and there was something else I saw him in, and I didn't even realize it's him. But I think he's the best actor, just like pure actor of the 3 Spider-Man actors. Now, watching the 3rd Spider-Man movie made me want to see another Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie with an older Peter Parker, because he just has such an earnestness about him, that I appreciate it. I think is kind of missing in the other 2 actors. Certainly, Andrew Garfield doesn't have that same kind of a gee whiz kind of thing that I really liked. I mean, I thought, because to me, Spider-Man is a character that these powers were thrust upon him, and it's a blessing and a curse.
Now, you went there with the option to watch the new Doctor Strange, or have you already done that?
Nope.
Done that.
No. Well, one thing is, I don't know if Michelle would want to go see that. I knew she wouldn't want to see every whatever it is, everything, everywhere, all at once. And having seen it, I can safely predict she would not want to watch it.
She wouldn't like it. Okay.
She wouldn't like it. She wouldn't like it. There's some very unusual kind of slapsticky stuff in it.
Yeah, if it's anything like Kung Fu Hustle, yeah.
Even though Michelle liked Kung Fu Hustle, I had the DVD or Blu-ray or something. But in fact, Michelle and I we saw something, and I saw this woman in curlers with a cigarette. And I go, who's that woman? She looks familiar. And Michelle goes, oh, it's the lady from the movie. And I didn't even realize. Oh, you're right. It's the old lady from Hustle.
Someone with a cigarette hanging off their lip.
Exactly. But Michelle may want to see Doctor Strange. I've heard enough about. I've gotten to where I've been burned by the last couple Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, everybody
I'll
has.
wait,
Yeah,
I'll wait till it comes out on Disney Plus. It'll be on Disney
Sure.
Plus by my birthday, so
sure.
you know I don't need to see it necessarily on the big screen. Even though everyone will tell me, "Oh, it's Doctor Strange," you have to. What I've seen of the CGI doesn't look that good.
Hmm. Yeah, you've seen it before is the problem. Yeah.
Well, I saw the trailer,
Hmm. Yeah.
and it just hearing about it, and the reviews have been a little mixed,
Yeah.
and we went to my wife and I just went to Disney World, and I was disappointed because we went to the Disney store to the Marvel section, and there was nothing Doctor Strange. There was Barbie of American Chavez. That's the only figure they had from the movie, and it was like a Barbie kind of. There was no T-shirts of Doctor Strange. I have a Doctor Strange T-shirt that is awesome. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit me. I need to lose about 10 more pounds before I can wear it.
Yeah.
But it looks so cool, I refuse to throw it away, and I'm gonna hope for the.
Well, that's a good diet motivation. Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. You know, it had some odd stuff to it. It was, but I'd like to see it again. I will pick up the Blu-ray when it comes out. I don't know if I'll. It may not be one of those day of $24.99 kind of deal. It may be like wait a month and pick it up for $12. You know.
Here's my last drawing of the evening. It's
What are you doing?
a guy that's got his real head next to his robot body. He's got a. Oh, you know what? I screwed that up. I tried to make this guy also a robot, and then I forgot that he's supposed to be all flesh for his humanity. And then the other guy, that's his head over here. He keeps his head in the robot. Oh, well. So what? I screwed up. That's typical. Okay.
Years ago, I before I started getting really busy drawing comic stuff, when I was still trying to hustle for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin had reached out to me, and he was like, "Would you want to work on a comic book?" And I knew that he had no, you know, my cousin is probably, let's see, he's probably close to 70 now, has never done a comic book, has no connections or anything like that, but he has some cool ideas. And he was telling me that part of his idea, he's not a guy that just comes up with a story. He comes up with this whole mythology.
Yeah, he's a world builder.
Oh, he's definitely, because he does a lot of role playing games and stuff. And so his idea was that one of the problems was every character that he came up with was like a existing character but different, you know.
Yeah.
He's like Superman, but he's bald, you know.
Seems derivative. Well, everything's
very derivative.
Yeah.
But he had some cool ideas, and one of them was the most powerful man in this unit. The equivalent of Superman was kidnapped by evil wizards from the future and transported back in the past, and he was stripped of his DNA, and they injected it into early humans to create superhumans. You know, it's just like, what?
Well, yeah, I can see that being a conflict later on.
Yeah, I just thought it was. Yeah,
he's got something in there.
Yeah,
tell me the boys is any better.
Yeah, the evil cabal of wizards had, which I thought was really cool, but we never got around to telling that story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot of stories in their what's the word? Nascent.
Yeah. But I thought the idea was cool. I thought the idea was cool. Anyway, okay, Ellis, I'm gonna let you go. We've gone.
Okay. Yeah, we've gone over 10 minutes. Okay.
Well, we didn't.
We started late. It must be almost 8. Yeah, it's past 8.
I hope you would get to meet me downtown and we could hang out and talk, but that didn't happen. So.
Yeah.
So,
but it's Thursday though. You threw me off. It's I'm kidding.
Well, if I picked it for tomorrow, you wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. So
the way I've been waking up lately, I wake up like 10 o'clock. I would have had to scramble.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, we'll see you, Scott.
Okay,
I'll end the broadcast.